Hello, this is Nas Babar from NB Lessons. Today my topic of discussion is going to be Ethernet frames. In my last lecture, I discussed IP packets. I showed you what's inside the IP packet, an overview looking from top on an IP packet, and you saw that it has source IP, destination IP, TOS, and so forth. Today I'm going to discuss Ethernet frames and the relationship between IP packets and Ethernet frame. It's going to be fun, trust me. So let's go ahead and get started. So this right here is one office. In this particular office, there are two buildings, building 1 and building 2, and they have two local area networks. Building 1 has a local area network which resides on 192.168.1.0 network. Building 2 resides on 100.10.1.0 network. All right, so it's one big office which has two buildings. Laptop number 1 wants to send a Word file to laptop number 2, which is in the second building. So what happens first? So laptop 1 will basically obviously open up the Word application, type up whatever they need to type. That's data. All right. Now that data is basically stuffed into an IP packet. All right. IP packet is something which I went over my lecture last time. So if you have any doubts, please go ahead and go back and listen to my IP packet lecture. But anyway, data is stuffed into IP packet, right? And then IP packet is encapsulated into an Ethernet frame. So we are stuffing data into IP packet, and then IP packet is being encapsulated into Ethernet frame. You have a capsule, right? You open up the capsule, you'll see the medicine in there. So same analogy that you have IP packet stuffed with data, and that it's being encapsulated into Ethernet frame. So now this frame, basically, anytime we talk in terms of Ethernet frames, they are referring to frames. So this frame basically would say, I need to get to this MAC address. So this frame will have a MAC address, source MAC address, AAA, and it wants to get to this right here. But it does not know where the MAC address BB resides. So what it does, it knows the default gateway, because in IP packet also, as you remember, you have source IP, you have destination IP, and the router knows where the default gateway is. So it knows what my default gateway, which is CCCCCC, which is the MAC address of this interface. So then this frame goes to switch 1. This switch looks at this frame and says, the destination MAC address is CCCCCC, and the switch 1 says, I know where that is, so it sends it to the router. Okay, so when the router receives the frame, it basically opens it up and looks at the packet. When it looks at the packet, it says, okay, the source is IP 192.168.1.1, which is the IP of this laptop. Destination is 100.10.1.1, which is the IP address of the laptop 2. So what it does is that at this point, what we do is that this frame has a source MAC address of AAAAAA, and it will basically, at this point, a new frame is created. So you will have a new frame, and this new frame will have a destination MAC address of BBBBBB, which is the MAC address of laptop 2. So initial frame basically had the MAC address of this laptop, and the destination MAC address was this right here. Okay, so what it did was that this frame basically looked at the IP packet, and it said, this packet has the destination IP address of this, I know the MAC address of that. So what it does is that at this point it creates a new frame which will have this destination MAC address BB So then this new frame basically goes on to switch 2. Switch 2 opens up the frame and looks at it and says, oh, it has the MAC address BB, BB, BB. I know what to do with it. So it sends it to laptop number 2. Laptop number 2 receives the frame. Okay, now on the right hand side of laptop 2, de-encapsulation takes place. On the left hand side, we had encapsulation. Right hand side, de-encapsulation. It receives the frame. It looks at the MAC address and it sees B, 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 B in there. So it says, okay, this is for me. So what it does is that it looks at the IP packet within the frame and it says, oh, the destination IP address is 100.10.1.1, which is me. So what it does is that it pulls out the data from there. And that data is, my friends, your Word file. Okay? So what happens to this frame and IP packet after data is removed and presented to whoever is the user on laptop 2? These are discarded. These are basically discarded, trashed. We don't need them anymore. We have the data. So that's, my friends, is how Ethernet frame works. So anytime when you're referring to packets going on Ethernet, they are frames, okay? IP packets are encapsulated into the frame. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Hope you liked what I presented. If you have any questions, comments, please let me know. And sorry about my dog who barked within the lesson. But if you like the contents, please go ahead and give me a like. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.